Hey guys, welcome back to West Virginia Mountain Life. We are inside my home now. I've been doing a lot of videos on the outside of our gardening things and stuff. And I thought I would bring to you how I'm going to grow my herb gardens this year. This is something new. I'm going to try them indoors. Last year I tried them outside and I didn't really have a really good production with them. So the other day I was out at a yard sale and got to pick these nifty little planters up, and they're nice and deep and they're good and sturdy. So I thought, you know what, they don't look too shabby, we're going to put them in the house. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to prepare some dirt to go into these planters. You can go outside and get your own dirt out of your gardens, or if you have a rich place, or compost yourself or anything like that, you can use that too. My compost bins are not ready. I have two. I have a worm bin and I have a regular compost bin, but neither of them are ready yet. So I actually went down to Magic Mart, which is a nearby store that we have here, and they had some potting soil and some compost on sale. And that is the only reason that I bought it, is because it was on sale. And there is nothing great, nothing wonderful different about this kind of compost or soil in comparison to any other kind of soil. So don't feel like you have to run out and try to find Mr. Jolly Gardener or whatever this is. It was just on sale. So what we're going to do is, I've got a great big tub here. I thought it would be easier to mix my dirt in it and then transplant it over into my pots so I can do a large quantity of dirt. So I have a bag of compost that I opened up already done in this tub. And the reason I opened it up was because I had to dump a little bit of this compost over into my compost bin to help even out what I had going on in there. To do your brown to green ratios and all that stuff. You guys can look that up. There's a lot of people on YouTube that have some awesome sites that tell about how to compost and how they're doing their compost and whatnot and so forth. And they are professionals at that. I am not. I have just started ours, so we are doing the best that we can with it. I don't know how it's going to work out. I will keep you informed how it goes as we go along. But I'm putting basically one bag of compost to a bag of topsoil. So we're going to pull out our topsoil over here. If I can pick it up. And our handy little gardening knife that I have really become fond of lately, because it does all kinds of cool stuff. It has measuring on it, it has a little saw blade on it, all kinds of nifty little stuff that ends up being very useful while you're outside gardening, or in this case while I'm in my home gardening. These pots that I bought have holes in the bottom of them. They are for outside planting, so you can water hose them and they drain well. Because of that, and because of the fact that I'm putting them in the house, I did put a styrofoam disposable plate in the bottom. And I know everybody right now is saying, oh no, not styrofoam, because it's not decomposable and all that good stuff. But there's a reason I use the styrofoam. If I'd have put a paper plate in the bottom of here, then we would have had a really nasty, runny mess, because the water would have soaked through it. Whereas the styrofoam will not. And don't fret, I'm sure I will find another use for those other than the landfill before it's all said and done. Okay, so we have put a bag of compost and a bag of topsoil down into our big bin here. I've got an old-timey army shovel, and I know there's probably a technical name for that, but I'm not a technical person, so I don't know what it is. But I'm basically going to stir it up, get it mixed in together real well to where we've got plenty of compost and plenty of dirt, and it's all nice and moist, and it's going to hopefully make our seeds grow really good, and where it's nice and warm in our house. Everything should germinate properly and do what it's supposed to. Now, I have been reading through gardening magazines and all kinds of neat stuff here lately since I've decided to try to homestead a little bit and do a little bit more self-sufficient work on my own land. And someone had sent me something that said that if you use the inside of a disposable diaper, that it actually absorbs liquid like it does on a human, and it will hold that liquid. Therefore, if you put them in your plants, it will help hold the moisture in your plants, so you don't have to water as often. Well, as you know, I am a couponer and I try to find the cheapest way possible. And thinking about throwing away a diaper just really bothered me. But after I thought about it in the long run, and I ran into a pack of diapers down at our store for $2.99 for 18 diapers. So that was a really cheap diaper. I went ahead and picked them up. And basically, from what I have read, what you want to do is you're wanting to get the stuff that's inside the diaper out, because the granules is what's going to expand. Now, these granules are located in this cotton that's inside here, okay? The cotton is 100% cotton, and it will totally and completely dissolve and turn into this really weird gelatinous substance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of this down in the bottom of my pot. Hopefully to help absorb some of the water and keep it in my plant instead of it all wanting to run out and me having to water the plant all day long every day. Because sometimes I get busy and I forget, and this is going to be hopefully an easier way to do so. And it should keep it pretty well moist. Okay, so once you've raked out all that cottony inside, you're left with just like a papery outside. These will break down eventually. So we're just going to toss that in with our trash over here because we don't need it anymore. Now, you're looking at that in the bottom of here, and it doesn't look like a whole lot of stuff. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, that's not going to hold very much water. Let me tell you something. It just so happens that I took a regular diaper outside, filled it full of water, and left it sitting to see how long it expanded. The diaper was literally round when it actually finished expanding, and I think if it had had more room, it would have expanded even more. But the seams on the side of the diaper caused it to stop. It was literally busting at the seams. So this little teeny tiny bit of stuff here is probably going to swell up, and it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't go up about 2 to 3 inches in the bottom of here by the time it gets wet. Okay, so now we're going to go, we're going to take our handy dandy shovel here, and we're going to put our potting soil mixture in on top of that. We're basically just going to fill up our pot. I like to give my pot some room down in it before I plant my seeds, so that the seeds are kind of protected when they're real little, because I feel like if you fill it all the way to the top, it doesn't really have any protection around the outside whenever the sprouts start coming up. And we want them to be protected because they're going to be young and tender and easily to be broken. And I've got a house full of boys, and anything in my house is easily to be broken. So I don't want them running through the house and breaking my little plants off. So I'm going to fill this up probably another couple inches, and then we're going to start potting. Now, a lot of people have different types of herbs that they like to grow, and this, that, and the other, and some of them they plant directly into their gardens. Dill, garlic, chives, things like that. We've had decent luck with growing asparagus. things like that. We have wild asparagus in one of our gardens, and it's very, very good, and it grows very easily, and it comes back every year. And I really like that. But I want to grow these herbs in the house so that I can dehydrate them and hopefully store them in vacuum sealed containers and use them during the winter this year so that I don't have to buy herbs all winter. My family and I, we use a lot of seasoning. I cook just about everything that I cook from scratch, and so I don't use a lot of pre-mixed things. So in regards to that, it causes me to use a lot of herbs and spices. So the first thing that we're going to plant is our cilantro. I'm a big fan of cilantro. I love it with chicken. It's just an awesome herb. I have two different kinds of cilantro here. They're basically the same type of cilantro. They're just different brands. And from the looks on the front of the package, like I talked to you earlier in one of the other videos, I always look at your pictures on your packages. This one seems to be a little more tender than this one. I don't know until they grow. But I'm going to plant both types, and I'm going to kind of divide out my planter here with my finger and plant one type on one side and one type on the other side. Now, I am keeping a gardening book this year. This is something new. And I have plotted out in here where I'm going to put what in our gardens and whatnot and so forth. And it's just trying to keep record of like my seed list and what I'm planting. Different things like that. It's just going to hopefully help me keep track of what I've got where, and in case something doesn't come up or something didn't do good, I can document that. And I know next year, you know, I got to try something different. I need to look for another way. A new thing that I've been doing this year is temping my soil. Now, most soil thermometers are very easy to come by. They're not expensive at all. They come in these handy dandy little nifty holder things. Don't do like I did the first time and stick the holder in the ground too. Yes, people, I did it. I felt stupid. After I got over it, I figured out it comes out. But anyways, the thermometer on the outside soil needs to be at least 45 degrees or above. So I've had this soil sitting outside for several days. I'm anxious to see what it's going to be, but I do want to go ahead and document it even though it's going into a planner. And I may document every week and see how the temperature of the soil changes, being that it's in the house. See if it affects anything with germination or anything like that. So we're going to temp this soil before we get started. And I will document all this stuff later in my little book. And I'll try my best to show you guys what my little book looks like. In a couple weeks we'll do a video on it and I'll show you what I've documented where. And guys, please excuse me, I'm having all kind of allergy issues this year. This is the first time that I've had that, so please excuse my coughing. We've got a massive pollen rate going on up here right now. There it goes. Sometimes it takes it a little while to decide what it wants to be. But it's dropping right now. I'm trying to document too, like the two different types of seeds that I showed you, the two different cilantros. One of them is from the American Seed Company and one's a Burpee seed. So I'm trying to see which one ends up being the hardiest for me. I cannot wait for this stuff to come in because I love to be able to pick fresh herbs and use them during garden season, especially when I do like tomato salads and things with the tomatoes and onions and whatnot out of my garden. then I like to have a nice fresh herb to go with it. Okay, our soil seems to be tempting. It's looking like it's sitting at about 62 degrees, which is about right because it was a beautiful day here on top of the mountains. And like I said, my soil has been sitting outside. Okay, so we're basically going to just push back a small area of this soil lightly with our little fingers and my cool gardening gloves. I love these things. They have grippies on them and you can wash them in the wash machine and all kinds of neat stuff with my little gardening gloves, and they're really, really cheap. You can pick them up just about anywhere. So we're going to put on the right hand side our American Seed Company cilantro seeds. And I'm going to pour these out in my hand here so you guys can look and see. They're itty bitty round pebble seed. Okay, on the back of the pack here, it usually tells you how far apart to plant them and how long it's going to be and how, deep in the ground. And on these, they usually tell you 6 to 12 inches. Well, if we did 6 to 12 inches in this little teeny tiny pot, then guess what? We'd have like 2 seeds of cilantro. The sad fact of the matter is that they're not all going to germinate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just space them out, give them enough room to do their thing. If they start coming in and they look like they're crowded or whatever, then you can pick those out and transplant them into another pot or another little garden area, or even put some outside. I mean, once you've got them coming up, you're in good shape. It's the part of getting them to germinate and come up that's the problem. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of soil over top of these and pat them down a little bit, just enough to cover them. You don't want to suffocate them to death. And now on this side, we're going to do the same thing with the burpee. I like doing stuff like this in my house in the evenings. I'm not much of a TV person. I like TV occasionally. But I like to do this stuff inside too because it still allows me, like on rainy days and evenings when I'm tired, I can just hang out and do stuff like this and video it for you guys. And maybe help you all out a little bit. And you can see what I've done right and what I've done wrong this year, and maybe it can help you out. I'm not endorsed by any companies. Anytime that you see us using any kind of brand names or whatever, I will tell you what they are, just simply because I want you to know if it did good or if it didn't do good. But we don't get paid for any of this stuff. We don't, we're just trying to show you guys what we're doing so that you can have an idea. We are always welcome to your comments and your suggestions. If you have a better brand or a better way of doing stuff, please comment back to us. We would love to see what you guys are doing. I am just a simple person. I'm just trying to make a way for my family that's a little bit cheaper and a little bit easier. But like I said, anytime that you all have any suggestions, please, please, please feel free to let us know. We love you guys, and we're very appreciative that you're watching us, and we want you all to be part of our family. So just let us know what's going on, and if you see that I'm doing something wrong, then holler at me. Please try to subscribe to our channel, if I can speak. But subscribe to us. We want you all in our family. We want you all part of our lives, and we do appreciate you. But we tonight have got our cilantro in our pot. I'm going to continue on, if I don't have an allergy attack, trying to plant some more things. I'm going to do some basil, I'm going to do some dill, some parsley, some rosemary, possibly some spearmint. And then I've got another really neat little trick I'm going to show you guys after a while. But while I'm gone planting the rest of this, we're just going to continue doing everything that I just showed you. But we're going to do it with the parsley and the dill and all that stuff. And then I'll show you all my containers whenever we get back. So you guys hang tight. Come back and watch the second part of this, and we'll see what's going down with what my nifty little trick is. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.